Hey guys, and welcome to Film Artsy, your #1 source for all things films and movies. We have some really interesting news if you're a fan of maybe the DC universe as a whole, like the television shows, or maybe you're a fan of Power Rangers, but it looks like we might be getting some new information about the upcoming Power Ranger movie reboot that is allegedly on its way. Now, what ended up happening is a few years back, a lot of you guys may have seen it already or remembered, there was a reboot to Power Rangers, and the movie was okay, but financially it didn't really do too well in the box office. And since then, the company that owned Power Rangers, Saban, ended up selling the rights and the whole entity over to Hasbro, who has the likes of Transformers, G.I. Joe, a ton of other franchises and toy lines, and Hasbro has been running the ship for Power Rangers ever since that transfer. And now there's been plans and talks pretty much since the beginning to reboot the Power Rangers live action series again and do it a little bit differently, which means Hasbro has a lot of potential, or sees a lot of potential in the brand Power Rangers, and thinks that if the movies are done a little differently, perhaps they can resonate better and do better in sales, and also maybe start a brand new kind of cult following around Power Rangers that hasn't been seen before. But now it looks like the steps for this movie are coming further together, and a writer has been hired to pen the script for the upcoming Power Rangers movie, and they may have taken a note from some of the television series we've seen from the DC universe. Now, this comes from Deadline, but apparently it's reported that the writer Brian Edward Hill, who wrote for the DC TV show Titans, has been signed on with Hasbro to start writing the screenplay for an upcoming Power Rangers live action adaptation. Now, as far as we can understand, this movie will have no connections to the previous movie. This will be a completely fresh restart once again, which will be interesting how they choose to approach that, knowing that a lot of the audiences have already seen a Power Rangers movie just a few years back. And also, we saw that Jonathan Entwistle was signed on a while back to oversee all things in the Power Rangers franchise. So it's really interesting that Hasbro's starting to dedicate some very important and key people who have a lot of experience in the industry for a role in the Power Rangers franchise. Still, we don't know too many details about where they're going to take the plotline and what we're going to actually see in this movie, though a lot of speculation believe that in one way or another, this movie will be intended to spawn multiple sequels and kind of grow the franchise from there. There's a lot of possibilities. Maybe they'll take some inspiration from the comic book series, which is hugely successful actually, and has some really unique plot lines. And we've seen the plot lines from the comic books already leak into other forms of media, whether they're showing up in video games or other types of adaptations. So we're optimistic to see what the future could look like for this movie. Bringing on a writer from the DC TV series is probably a really great point to start in, especially if it's something like Titan. So what do you guys think of this upcoming movie? Are you excited for it? Are you kind of on the fence? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe and notifications on for more videos like this, and we'll see you all next time with a brand new video.
I'm about to.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Hi.
See you guys.
Know anybody?